Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on another lockdown edition here in Melbourne, of course, here on a Wednesday night. Of course, let's go over to our friends over in South Australia and, of course, speak to the best netball club over there in South Australia. Of course, both their teams make the grand final. Unfortunately, just one of them won the Premiership in a very similar fashion to what happened the game after that. Of course, it was the Matrics club, and of course, the reserves won another Premiership, beating South Adelaide by a single goal. And of course, we've got four very special guests joining us right now to tell us a bit about it. Thanks all for you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, Will.
No worries. Well, I'll get all of you to introduce yourselves and tell us, well, what positions all you play on the court on grand final day.
Go first. My name's Marley. I'm a wing attack centre. Played wing attack in the grand final.
I'm Olivia. I'm more known as Watto, and I played goalkeeper in the grand final.
I'm Millie, and I played goal defence right next to Liv.
And I'm Amanda, or known as Shats, and I'm the coach.
Obviously, yourselves got through to the grand final with a second semi-final win over Contacts. And obviously, you had to wait on the winner between them and South Adelaide. How was the preparations like going to that grand final with the week off? And did you have any idea at all that you were going to end up versus South Adelaide instead of Contacts?
Yeah, so we got the win against Contacts pretty convincingly in the second half of that game. And then just to prepare, like we still trained on the Friday. Some of us did the Saturday if we were on the league bench in the prelim. And then, yeah, we just sort of had to know at the back of our mind that South, even though South aren't a very well-known club compared to Contacts, we just had to know that they were going to be tough, and they'd been tough during the season.
Were you surprised at all that you were versus South Adelaide?
Me as a coach, no. They were probably our closest competition. We only lost to them we only beat them by 3 in the minor rounds in the second half of the season. So I actually did think that they probably would have beaten Contacts, and I wasn't really confident. I knew that they would actually give us a really good run for our money. So I was confident in our ability to beat them, but I thought they would give us, a really good battle.
Obviously, it was certainly a real battle, wasn't it? Watched your game, and I was on the edge of my seat the whole way through on that one. Now, I think you got behind pretty early in that game before bouncing back in the back half of the first quarter. From the players and the coach in particular, how was it like? How was the grand final, playing and obviously sitting on the bench?
To be honest, I didn't feel like we really got off to a good start, and I don't think that it even felt like we were going to win at all throughout the game. I think it literally came down to the last few minutes, and I think it was anyone's game, and in the end it just came down to those last few minutes and what we could bring out. I think we came out firing that in that fourth quarter, but it took 3 in my opinion.
It was definitely an attacking game. To score 61 goals against 60, it's pretty high scoring grand final that we've had over the last few years. So it was definitely more of an attacking game, and we definitely couldn't get into the game defensively. We had the best defense in the competition.
That's right.
And being biased, we've got 2 of them here, but we actually do, our for and against, we actually had the best goalies in the competition and the best defenders. So we turned a lot of ball during the season, which made us really successful, but we just couldn't get our hands on the ball on the Friday night for the final, which made it really difficult to capitalise and get in front.
I know this is going to sound the most silliest question asked, but when the final whistle went, was it a relief? Did you know what happened at all? Did you actually have to double look at the scoreboard just to make sure you were in front?
I think because the last goal went through the ring, none of us knew if it counted or not. So there was a few seconds where did we win? Are we playing extra time?
And South cheered and sort of what I noticed first was that they literally all screamed and cheered, and I was like, are they excited or are we? Like, I just didn't know. Yeah, it was, for me, I looked up at them and I went through the hoop, and then we looked up at them, and then I literally just thought, oh my God, they're celebrating. We must be going into overtime. But then I saw Miles run up to Ella, and it was just like, okay, obviously we won. I missed the huddle because I was like, are you sure? I feel like we need to just double check this. There's nothing worse than celebrating if we didn't win.
For me, the end of the game was very stressful because the last centre pass I broke and it turned the ball. So I didn't do anything all game and then I broke. So I just had to have a moment to like just pause and be like, oh, thank God that goal did not go through because it would have been on me. So yeah, it was a big relief.
Yeah, and I saw the umpire and she waved it away, and that was like to my assistant coach, I think we've won. And then I just jumped. Yeah, it was absolute shock. Couldn't believe it, because I thought with a minute and a half we'd actually lost the game with about a minute and a half to go.
Millie, I need to ask you this question. Now, you mentioned that you did go into the group huddle when you won the game. Now, considering your game was live streamed and people can watch this back, did you watch yourself and sort of feel a little bit embarrassed that you were not in that group shot in the huddle?
Well, I'm pretty sure in the video they actually filmed South's response, in particular the goal attack that missed. So I think the video missed it, which is great. But yeah, and then it took a few goes to get in the huddle. But no, it was really exciting to watch the girls, and yeah, I think it was just exciting.
Marley, I believe you were the MVP of the grand final. Even though you mentioned that it could have actually cost your team the game as well towards the end, but no. So how was the ride of emotions from almost costing the team to that, which would have sent into OT, to all of a sudden win the grand final MVP?
Yeah, I think it was an absolute whirlwind. Like, reflecting on the grand final, I can't even remember every part of it because it was just, there was lots of energy obviously from the crowd, and it was a really tight game, so the momentum was always swinging, which obviously takes you on a bit of an emotional roller coaster. And then at the end of the game, the relief, I just had to like compose myself for a minute, and then I think I was just on a bit of a high after winning. I didn't even, when the guy was announcing, I wasn't even really listening. I just was getting ready and organised for a photo, and then I just heard my name and I was like, okay, I've obviously won. So yeah, but it was very exciting, and I wasn't expecting it because I felt like it was such a team effort, and our goalies stood up when they needed to as well in those final moments to like finish those goals off, and our defenders fought so hard all game. Because like Shat said, it was such an attacking game, and the turnovers didn't come as easily as we like have had previously, but they just kept fighting, and in the moments that counted, they were able to turn the ball. And I was even talking to my goal attack and just earlier in a previous final, and just saying like, we just had so much faith in our defensive end early on in the finals to pick up a ball when it mattered, which really helped in the semi-final when, we needed it as well. So.
Obviously, everyone across the country was watching your grand final, and it was not just your grand final, but the grand final after that as well, which was the tightest grand final and the most thrilling grand final we've ever seen. In netball. I don't think any other netball grand final I've watched this year or even last year that got even close to, came down to the last moments of the game, last 2 seconds of the game. How special is it to be part of something that, I guess will be talked about for a long, long time?
I guess like you just got to take every moment as it comes, because not everyone gets this opportunity. Like, people can play sport for 15, 20 years and never get the opportunity to play in a grand final. So we're pretty fortunate here at Matrics to be able to have both teams in the final and both experience each other's success and get around each other.
I am, exactly like what I said. We're pretty privileged to play, and I'm pretty privileged to coach an amazing group of players in our league and our reserve environment to be able to play finals. Probably 7 or 8 years ago, I think our Resis might have finished bottom Mills, I think, before I came into the environment. I can't remember. I think Millie was still a junior, sitting on, like a 15-year-old sitting on a Resi bench. And I think in a Resis, we finished bottom. So I think to turn it around over the last 7 years and, win 5 premierships in the reserves department in our league has just been, I suppose, a credit to start at the top, Peter Mazzarchi, but also it's a buy-in from all our athletes, the training that they do, the commitment they give the club, and their ability to have each other's back is just phenomenal. So yeah, I feel privileged to coach these girls. I feel like I'm just going along for their ride.
Obviously, I'm sure you've watched how the Premier team went. Obviously, a very similar situation, but they were on the wrong side of the 1 goal result. I guess how was it like knowing that you've got the Premiership by the same margin, and then obviously seeing your fellow teammates from the Premier team fell short by a very similar situation?
To be honest, it was really bittersweet. I think I was so excited and still on a high from our win that it didn't really click that they couldn't get over the line. And for me as well, and I know it's the same boat as everyone else, like some of our best friends play in the team above us, and we train together all the time. We're a club that really get around, or our teams really embrace culture, and we are all mates, and we all literally we're all one in, all in kind of culture. And it was just really heartbreaking to see. It literally came down to the last 5 seconds, and I think they were up for most of the game. And I have such faith in our girls that I didn't really at all think, they're not going to get over the line. So it was almost like a bit of a shock for me that they couldn't get it done. And it was literally just obviously testament to contacts, but yeah, it just felt like a game of luck that came down to the last 15 seconds. And I mean, you could probably say the same about our game, to be honest. It could have gone either way. I don't think, even if you had an extra minute either end, you could still say, I don't know who would have won in our team and who would have won in the league. So, yeah, it was really quite upsetting for them. And it was hard for us as well, because I felt like I wanted to be excited for our girls, but also give them a chance to sort of, be a little bit upset. And but yeah, they were fantastic. They got around us so much, and they were ready to celebrate the season we've had and celebrate, I guess, because it still is a very successful season despite the result. So yeah.
I think also for some of the players in that team, for example, Packers, she's retiring this year. So it was a bit devastating. I felt a bit devastated for her to finish on a 1 goal loss, because those ones really tear your heart out, I think, in terms of the emotion, because it's in your hands and then it's just taken from you at the last moment. So I feel for her and some of those girls that have played up there for a while. It would have been nice to get another grand final win and to celebrate with them, because like Millie said, there's definitely it's definitely a family culture, and we train together, and there's lots of girls that actually play between both teams, so you feel for them that that they've missed out. Yeah.
Who held the Premiership Cup first?
Millie.
Yeah. We grabbed it. I think all of us grabbed it, and we weren't letting go, and we still haven't returned it to Peter Mazzarchi, because I'm worried we're not going to see it again. He's going to confiscate it off of all of us. But yeah, everyone got their hands on it pretty quick, I think.
I know you're not meant to do this during COVID times, but did either of you get a chance to the Premiership Cup?
Yeah, the lid didn't last on very long. It's welded back on every year, I think, and then just knocked right back off again. And I think Netball SA will be looking into ways of really getting that thing soldered on. But no, it's the only way to win, to celebrate a premiership, I reckon.
Yeah. We had a lid on it and then arrived at our after party and there was no lid on it. So don't know how the lid came off, but it definitely had a lot of drinks in it all night, which was really good.
How long did you wear your medals around your neck for, and did either of you sleep with it?
I definitely slept with it for 3 days. And the dress.
Yeah, Livy was in her dress for 3 days.
Is that right, Liv?
Well, I rotated them, so I didn't.
Yep. I slept with mine on my pillow. So then I'd put it back on, and then I took it to work on Monday as well to show all my kids at school.
Nice.
So yeah, proud moment. Now it's sitting up in my car, so still there.
Well, I woke up on, I think it was Sunday morning, and I had the net yanking me one way and the medal yanking me another way. And I was like, this isn't very safe.
Really?
But no, you can't take it off, honestly. It feels too good.
And Marley, how did you go with your 2 medals?
Yeah, my neck was heavy, let's just say that. No, well, there wasn't much sleeping done on the first night, but I definitely, for the small part that I did sleep, it definitely stayed on. And then it was definitely on for the rest of the weekend, which was good. I put the other one away because, yeah, that's not as important. But
Players, be very careful you answer my next question. Tell us about your amazing premiership coach.
No, Shats has been just so consistent all year. We know she really sets her standards high, and we know what she expects of us as well. And I guess it's just coming out each week and doing your job for the team, whatever that is. And I guess this year we've all just got along really well, and Shats has just communicated with us really clearly, and we know what it's expected. So we go out there and we play not only for each other, but for our coaches, both Shats and Pete. So, yeah, it's been a lovely relationship, which I've obviously had 3 years now with Shats in the Resis, and to be with so much success with her. So, yeah, it's a lovely relationship that hopefully we can develop further and maybe win another premiership. I mean,
I would say the same as Miles. There's definitely an expectation set at the start of pre-season and the season, and I think we all know that we have to meet that expectation. And even on the court, we're always expected to be better and do like everything we can, even if we are winning by 40. There's always stuff we can perfect, and I think that expectation is really good from Shats, because it like gives us a drive to always want to do more and never settle for anything less than what we are.
I think as well that Peter and Shats complement each other really well. So I think that they've worked together a while now, and I think that they know how to coach. They make the effort to get to know the team and all of us sort of individually. They figure out pretty quick, who likes being told what and how to actually coach us well and how to get the best out of us, which is probably my favourite thing about both the coaches. But yeah, it's more of a relationship for us. And I feel like as soon as you get that relationship, then you can be more honest. And Shats is very, very honest, which is great. But yeah, it's. I think she says like it's easy to coach a good team, but like for me, it's more about like it does start at the top, and it does start from sort of where she sets our standards and being really clear as to what she expects from us. So yeah, just like the girls said, it starts from her. It starts from even Peter Mazzarchi. Like it starts from way above us, and yeah, it trickles down into the younger girls. So that's awesome.
Thanks. I'll pay you guys later. Yeah, thanks for embarrassing me. That's great.
Amanda, I need to ask you this then, based on those response. What does that mean to you?
Everything. Like we've had a pretty tough year this year, so I'll start crying in a minute. But yeah, like I just have so much love and respect for these girls. Like I have an amazing assistant coach, Peter Ma, and she I don't even call her an assistant. I just think we team coach, really, to be fair. Like, we've been coaching together for I don't know how long, and we just like exactly like Millie, we're just sort of like each other's yin and yang, and we just, we know what the other one's thinking, and we work together really well. But to have the athletes, I suppose, show their respect like that, but it's just, it makes you so proud, really, really proud to coach such. I suppose what makes me proud is they're amazing human beings, which is more, like, they're awesome netballers and they've, done us proud and won. But why I love the girls that I coach is they're actually really, they're decent, kind, caring, thoughtful humans. And I just think in everything, that's what counts. You look back in 10 years, we won premierships, but I had relationships with these players that are just, superhuman people, which I'm really proud of. And I think, as a club, it's pretty, people want to get into our club, and they just, constantly being asked questions is how do you have the culture you have, and, how do you attract such amazing netballers? And we're pretty spoiled with the players we have. Like, I feel like our Resi's team this year probably, if not finished third, they would have finished third. If our league finished second, I reckon we would have finished third, because our players are so talented. So the players want to come and play at our club because we, I think we go further than just being netball coaches, and it's about being, I suppose, that family and being united and having each other's backs, which is just, pretty special.
Tell us, how did all you get involved in netball, and why did you choose it?
I had an older sister. Well, my mum actually played netball for Garville for a very long time, and I always used to, she always just kind of imprinted that on me when I was little. So then my older sister played, and then because she played, I wanted to play, and started when I was 4 and still here.
I actually started playing in the country, so I'm originally from the Riverland. So I grew up playing all my juniors, and I played my first sort of senior netball as well in Riverland. And then I moved to Adelaide to study at uni. So I sort of scouted out what netball team I should sort of look at playing for, and I wanted to see, how far I could sort of push myself, how far I could go. So I applied for Matrics, which is obviously a Premier League. And I actually did have a new Shats prior. I was in her state under-15 team. So I had a small connection there, and I knew another girl who also played there from the Riverland, was playing there currently, is still playing there currently, from the Riverland. So I had a few small connections and sort of knew of people. So I went out to the tryouts, and I haven't left. That's, basically my story at Matrix. So,
I started playing when I was 7 for school, and then I joined Matrix when I was 8, I think, or 9. And now I'm 24. So what's that, 16 years for Matrix? I wouldn't go anywhere else. Everyone's great. It's a family. You can't really leave. Once you're in, you're stuck. But no, it's a fantastic place to play, and it's nice being sort of going up through the ranks. I think I started in sub-primary 5s or 6s, so I wasn't very good. But, we got there in the end.
Same as the girls. Like, my mum played in the Territory. I grew up in the Northern Territory, so I played in the Territory, and then moved to Adelaide and played, and then got into coaching, being a school teacher. I think it was sort of a given, being a PE teacher, and then I actually came across to Matrix as a manager. So one of who was the current Resi's coach rang and said, "Will you be my manager?" And I said, "I've never managed before." She said, "That's okay," because she knew I coached. So it was good. That was my step in, and then the following year I was an assistant coach and haven't left as well. So I've been there probably about 8 years, I reckon, as well. So I love it.
Which of the premierships that all of you won, which I know it's more than 3 at the moment, how many, I guess, out of those premierships that you've all won, which one is more special?
Well, for me, it was last year's double. We got the double. So both Resis and League got up. And that was my first premiership for the Matrix Netball Club. So that one was pretty special.
Mine, it's a hard one because We won I suppose the first one of our three-peat was my first as head coach. So for me, that was pretty awesome. And I suppose beating Contacts is even sweeter. So, beating them by a goal in the grand final, and our league also won in the grand final. It was sort of meant to be the other way around. We were probably the favourite going in, like we have been, I suppose, the last 2 years, this year and last year as well. But we only won by a goal, and we should have probably won by about 12, and league should have won by a goal and they won by 12. So, yeah, first one, but a second one, the double. I don't know how you can split them. And then the three-peat, I think the three-peat's pretty awesome. I don't know how many times or if it's ever been done at a resi level. It just is probably not as sweet because our league weren't there to celebrate it with us. But I think the year we've had, it's been pretty awesome. So, I can't tell you which one. All three were pretty awesome.
For me, it's so hard to split them as well. Like what Shat says, how can you choose? Because it's so exciting every time. And as well, every year you're on a different journey with different people. So there's always like little inside jokes and things that make it so much special as well. But I probably would have to say this year for me, I just felt like I obviously played okay, well enough to win an award. So when you do, like, you know in yourself that you've played a good game and you put out what you know you can do on the court, and you always feel happier, I guess, with the result. So I would probably have to say this year, which it would have been nicer if the league had got over the line as well, because I know last year was so special having the two teams. So yeah, between this year or last year, I'd say, yeah.
I'm tossing up between my first year that we won, which we won the double. I think it was just like first time ever playing in a like reserves grand final. And I was pretty young then, and I'm pretty sure I don't even remember any of it, but I remember it being a really special moment. But to be honest, I quite enjoyed the fact, everyone said probably would have been nicer to win by a few more because it was a bit stressful, and it didn't feel like we had it in the bag, but it was a tight game. It was an exciting game. Everyone was on their toes. It was a really big relief, and it was really exciting to only win by one goal and get the 3 in a row, of course. So probably first year or third year. Fifth year.
I think our celebration last year was probably more epic, to be fair. I'm not sure. It probably lasted about 5 days at Watto's. I think we just stayed at Livy's for, just kept going and going. It was a week that never ended last year. So that was pretty epic last year. So I don't think it was big this year, as big as it could have been. So
restrictions didn't help.
Yeah.
Now, what does the sport of netball mean to all four of you, especially being at the Matrics?
Like we've said throughout this meeting, we're just one big family. We all have to share the same morals, and we all have that same goal in mind, which is an expectation for us. It's an expectation that we make finals, and we set that ourselves. So we all hold each other accountable, all got the same goal, and we all just love each other.
I agree with Watto. Yeah, it's just about family, having relationships, and we haven't seen each other, I suppose, on a netball court for 2 weeks, and I'm already missing training. I know these three probably aren't missing training, but I am. It's more that I'm not missing the training. I think I'm just missing, seeing, we spend 3 days, 3, sometimes 4 times a week we see each other. And so just missing all their faces.
I think for a lot of the girls in the squad, netball has been a part of their life. It's in their DNA because they've played from forever. And with the amount of time that we spend together in season, you just get to know people on a really personal level, and you see them when they're struggling the most. The fitness coach has got us doing God knows what, and everyone's dying, and you just see really raw emotions. And that sort of brings you closer together. So I think netball, yes, it's lovely with those relationships and everything, but it's kind of a part of what you do. And it's got so many aspects, and not only the staying healthy and fit and having the relationships, but it's a place to go when you need just an outlet and just someone to talk to, or a different face. And everyone at Matrics is it's a different vibe. It's sort of hard to explain what the feel is. It's just so positive and a nice warm place to go to when you've had a bad day. So yeah. Millie, what about you?
Just what Marley said. No, I think we all play netball for different reasons. I think there are definitely similarities, but everyone plays netball for a different reason, and it's so engraved now. I don't really know what life would be without netball. So and like the people we've met, like the friendships we've made, you can't go past that. And I'm so lucky. And people that you'd never meet, like I'd say Marley's one of my best friends, and she lived in the Riverlands. I never would have got to meet her, or, you know, it's really different. You meet different people that you didn't think you ever would, and you get to develop those relationships with people and challenge yourself. And yeah, it's such a rewarding, challenging thing, which is, I guess, every sport.
Guys, be careful. Answer my next question, which is you all mentioned right at the start what position you play on the court. If you had a preferred position, we love to convince your coaches to put you next year. Where would that be?
I'm well aware I'll never get there, but I would love to be a goal attack. But not happening.
I was going to say, can I pick them all before they guess?
You go.
I'd love to play some centre.
Centre. Done.
All right, sign me up.
Oh, God.
Amelie.
Come on, Millie.
I don't know. I can't shoot. I can't really defend.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, totally can't defend.
I'd coach. I'd yell at you all.
See, that's scary.
Livy, listen, don't do that.
Been sacked, Millie's in.
Or manager with the food.
Yeah. Yeah, we do have a pretty good manager. Thanks as well.
Let's finish off with a couple light-hearted questions about the team. The first one is, who had the most embarrassing moment on the court this season, and what was it?
I think I have to dog Watto in here. Like,
it's always Watto, every game.
You take, and even post game, like running through a window post match, and ending up in the ED. I don't think anyone can top that.
Oh,
Sorry, no, you take that out, mate.
She had to get the dress cut off, sliced up her whole legs, arms. Yep, didn't play for about 3 weeks. Quickest return to netball ever. But yeah, she went through a glass door chasing the dog.
Story to tell.
Just to set the scene, though, the most uncoordinated person off the, like, she's the victim of the court shark. She will like go for a ball and run into the wall as she comes through, or like trip over herself at least twice a game. She's one to watch. Or get tripped over by me.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not a game if Watto hasn't fallen over.
She's definitely someone you want on your team, not against you. I'm scared.
You want to defend yourself here, Watto?
Look, I mean, I probably do hit the deck about 4 times a game, and it's not just a graceful fall; it's a legs over the back of the head or into the signs. Or I don't know how it happens, but it happens. So I'm going to be honest.
Well, who's the comedian, the best singer, and the best dancer on the team?
Best singer, Packers.
Yeah, probably Packers.
Best dancer,
Lozzie. Yeah, giraffe legs. And what was the last one? Best comedian.
Lucy Austin.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Lucy.
Yes.
Always laughs at herself.
I mean, she actually mentioned that when we had her on the show. Now, any pre-game superstition or rituals?
I'll start with Millie. Millie, a list of them a mile long. You might need a second recording.
Not even superstitious.
She always has a salad wrap on Fridays from Balsam. And they know her order.
Anything else?
I'm terrible. I think we just move on. I'm terrible. Yeah. Everything has a cause and effect. I literally think it's an illness. I should go get it checked out. I'm very superstitious. It's not good.
You won't find any PowerPoints on at Netball Stadium because Millie literally mid warm up will run and turn off a PowerPoint if there is nothing plugged in. So it's safe to say we're safe from electrocutions. Millie's got it under control.
And I didn't love that the games switched times for finals.
Yeah, the clocks, the times. Because last year when we had the old change rooms, there were clocks in their meals and you couldn't look at the clocks. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
doesn't like looking at the clocks.
It's all good. Can someone go next?
I'm a big one for the Thursday night fake tan. Look good, feel good, play good.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Orange Oompa Loompa. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Oh, you wait. Do you see that costume, chats?
Oh yeah.
It came in the mail.
Oh good. I need to dress up. You just need to scan the face. I want to see the face done.
Anyone on the team into their TikToks?
Well, not me. But
I
these
am.
three. Living with
So what are you TikTok famous yet?
No, unfortunately I'm not. No, I wish I was.
we can
Give
make
her
a
a shout out.
Yeah.
What's your TikTok name, Watto? Let's make you famous.
I don't actually know it, but it's good. It's good content.
What will be your advice to people that should get involved in netball?
Do it.
Do it. Do we just say the same thing?
Yeah.
I can't wait to tell my kids when I get old all the fun we had.
It's
And that
just
I
such.
Melbourne Radio.
It doesn't matter what level you play. It's just about having fun, getting out, participating, and I can't recommend team sports anymore. I just think getting out there, like Liv said, with your mates, having fun. Doesn't matter what level it is. Yeah, just have some fun.
Boy, thank you so much for getting up your time to join us. I don't think I'll laugh so hard with all the questions, but thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations on winning another premiership there in the reserves. Obviously, three-peat now. Hopefully next year, hopefully I'll be over there next year, but hopefully you can make it another premiership, number 4 in a row, and of course already started a dynasty. So hopefully that will continue going into 2022.
So if we go for the 4P, Will, you might have to come over and commentate the grand final for us because we need someone commentating that's in our corner, I reckon.
Okay. Done.
So 4P, Pete Maz can fly you over.
Thank you.
Bye.
No.